How do we pronounce this word? Is it budget or budget? It's more or less the same, but still you don't stress on the, it's budget. Yes, that's right pronunciation. See, some people are quite foolish and stupid to think that language learning happens only when you study the sentences, phrases, idioms, expressions, and that's it. It should be connected to your daily life, your occasions, the events, whatever is happening around you. So here I came across news on digital portals and I thought of sharing some good phrases and expressions. If you stumbled upon my channel the first time, you can read the channel description. Nobody's stopping you because we focus on language, communication skills, and mental health. None of these facets of the mind are separable. They are inseparable. And the minute you realize that, you will say no to the wrong notions revolving around the psyche. So it shouldn't lurk. Just stop the lurking thoughts and pay attention to these thoughts. Okay, so I've written a couple of phrases and expressions that will help you. And you can use these in your daily conversation. I came across this portal, digital portal called the Quint. I hope you are familiar with it, and it's given in the video description. You can read the whole article by clicking the link. It's given in the video description. When you read the channel description of a particular channel, you will understand the objectives and the aims. Most of them do that. But if you don't have the patience to read, to listen, to understand what's being told through a content, then there's no use. Nobody can help you. You have to understand that there is an aim for every video, and reading the video description also helps. And here, yes, I came across this news and we have been speaking about the budget. So here I won't be commenting about the content as usual, but there are some good usages. You can use it in your conversation and also in your writings, drafts, everything. Okay, so look at the title. It's a bit interesting. It's Budget Blues. You would have heard of Monday Blues. So it means the starting trouble that you have as soon as you begin a new week. Monday Blues. Yes. I've heard people using this in the conversations as well. But budget blues is a phase of disappointment, not exactly depression. It also means depression, but sadness, the low phase. It's at the low ebb. Why? Market's cold to middle class bonanza. Cold, what's the meaning of cold? Being cold means unfriendly, not welcoming. So here, not welcoming to the middle class bonanza. Bonanza, it sounds like extravaganza. So bonanza means something that gains importance or something that becomes profitable all of a sudden. It means wealth or profit accumulated all of a sudden. So some of the words were new to me, and I think I'm doing justice by recollecting and giving you the meanings. Okay, so I've written some of the words here. Yes. There are other words also. Instead of just reading the words, I'll give you the lines. So that will help you. So I will be taking the book and then I'll be taking the news article that is there. So as the lines come my way, I will read it out to you so that you get the context. Anyone who has ever tracked the markets on budget day knows that. Track. Of course, you track your parcels from the online stores. So tracking, of course, you know the meaning. And then anyone who has ever tracked the markets on budget day knows that stock market investors don't really care about the nitty-gritty of what the finance minister has to say. What is the meaning of nitty-gritty? When something is practical, the practical aspects, and also the important aspect of something. So here it could be the importance and the practical aspects. Do we pronounce this as finance or finance? I've also heard many English teachers also saying finance. It's actually finance. Okay, finance minister. Their interests are much bigger and much narrower. So much bigger, much narrower. Yes, so it is not countable, and look at the word they have used to give you the intensity of the matter, the interest. Much bigger, much narrower comparison. The narrow part of it has to do with capital gains and securities. Okay, so I'm just skipping some of the lines that do not have any phrases or words from the list. Along with that, market players want to know how much foreign institutional, okay, the usage of along with that. Along with that, three words are there and it's quite simple. But along with something, when you add these kind of phrases or usages, this is a usage, it will give that sense of completion to your sentence. It's not just about putting the grammatical aspects in the right track, but you also will have to pay attention to this. This is usually what affects the markets most on budget days. So look at this, affect and effect. Many people make mistakes when it comes to these words. It's affect, effect. What's the difference? It's there in the video description. Oh yes, I've given the meaning here. Affect, effect, the spellings are different, but still there's a big difference between these words, and you have to find out the difference and then use it in sentences. This time there was a lot of anticipation. What is the meaning of anticipation? When you wait for something, there could be anxiety, nervousness, but here when you wait with so much interest. Okay, anticipation. That Nirmala Sitharaman would relent and reduce taxes. Relent is given. It also means to reduce the effect of something, mitigate. Relent and reduce taxes that affect the stock market investors. Special trading sessions were slotted today. What is the meaning of slotted and allotted? Allotted means allocating, assigning something. So when you send emails asking for training session slots, I discuss with you and after that I allot the slots after discussion, assigning, allot. But slot is when you put it in compartments. That can also happen consciously. Slots, slotting something, so you put it in, you segregate and put it in compartments. So a very big difference in the usage. Where is the next one? I'm just going through the sentences again, okay? The whole article so that I get the sentences. In fact, Sitharaman made it very clear that her income tax bonanza to the middle class does not extend to capital gains tax. One would have imagined that the mega breaks to the middle class, because you're referring to the middle class, not break in. Break in can be used, but in a different context. The government says it will give up rupees 1 lakh crore in income taxes. Hyphen should have enthused the markets. We always speak about enthusiasm. Okay, when you are learning something the first time and when you join my training sessions, you say, I'm enthusiastic. I have this enthusiasm to learn the language. And then some people carry on this enthusiasm. But here, enthused. So here, enthused is a verb. Okay, and when you read different sentences from different contexts, you get to know more about the forms of different words. Enthused, enthusiasm. This is a different form of the same word. And okay, there's another usage, slipped marginally into the red. So when they were discussing about the budget, there was a usage given in one of the lines that said that the people's budget seemed to have slipped marginally into the red. When do we say that something slips marginally into the red? When there is a loss, when it's unprofitable for us. So those were the things, and they were speaking about the debts. So we don't say debts, it's debt. Subtle debt, I've already spoken about these through one of my previous videos, and you can watch those. Debt instruments. So debt instruments, I just wanted to highlight the pronunciation. It's not debt. Okay, so people may see certain aspects as debt instruments is the context. And then there is this technical term, fiscal deficit. Okay, let me try to find out the line for you so that you will understand it better. The Union Budget 2025-26 envisaged an expenditure of rupees 50 crore, an increase of 7.4% over the current fiscal. What is the meaning of fiscal? Something related to tax revenue. When do we use this term fiscal deficit? When the government spends more than what it gets through the revenue in the form of revenue. There are two words in the English language: project, project. Project is noun and project is verb. Come again. There are two words in the English language: project and project. Project is noun. So here it is projections. Then comes the overly projections regarding the budget. There was another context. I'm not going to read the entire thing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the union budget as a people's budget. Lauded. Okay, so there where he appreciates. So I can say I'll have to submit the project tomorrow, and then I prefer to project the slides so that people will be able to see it during my presentation. So that is a context where I used both project and project. Budgeted is an adjective actually. Okay, so for the purpose of budget, you provide something. Budgeted, that is the meaning of staunch the dollar, bleed. We often use the verb bleed. Bled is a past tense, and again bled could be used as a participle form. Okay, that is past participle form, has blood, bled, have bled, all these. But still here, with reference to India's big signal on tariff, duty on Harley cut amid Donald Trump's demand. Okay, staunch means something that reduces, stops the dollar bleed, the loss of money, because if it becomes unprofitable, we have to stop the loss of money. That is a context given here. Okay, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, terming the Union Budget 2025 as underwhelming, said that it only targeted the voters of Delhi and Bihar. Okay, so there is a big explanation given there. But look at the usage, underwhelming. What is the meaning of underwhelming? Disappointment. Overwhelming is when you're excited. Okay, when there is some anxiety, already we mentioned that. If you're a Delhi voter or a Bihar voter and you are earning a fixed middle class salary, you may have reasons to cheer, to be happy. That's another usage. There's nothing there for you because there's no encouragement whatsoever for jobs to come forth whatsoever. The usage of that, it's given here. Whatever happens, whatever be it, here in this context. Asked about the government's assertions of the goal of making India developed by 2047, Chidambaram said, "It is a pipe dream today, and at this rate of growth, it will remain a pipe dream for a long time." What is the meaning of pipe dream? It means an unattainable, fancy longing, something that cannot be achieved. So some people think that learning English is a pipe dream. Yeah, it remains as a pipe dream, or it has been a pipe dream for me. Nothing like that. It will always be an achievable target when you have an aim. See, when I began this YouTube channel, I never thought that it was going to at least grow this much. I don't run into any rat race where I compete with people, but I know that there are people listening, there are people who benefit from the content. So it was a pipe dream for me when I began the channel and when I was also taking sessions, because I should gain some experience before giving these highlights, guidelines. So here, pipe dream is another usage where I have already given the comment. I think I have used most of the phrases and the words here. You can use it in your yes, you can use it in your context and sentences. Okay, so this is how you connect everything with daily life. Now, let me tell you something. Whenever you learn anything, when it comes to language, it is important for you to connect it with your daily life. It becomes live that way. Otherwise, if you're just going to think that, oh, there is a news coming up and that she has included in the video, it is actually helping people, because we read news, we listen to a lot of content, hard talk, debate, whatever happens in the society. Why don't you connect through the English language? This will help you to think in English also. I've spoken about all these aspects from my YouTube channel. Again, I'm repeating. If you stumbled upon my channel for the first time, please go to the channel description before commenting. And the slots for February are open. After February 15th, we will have some open slots for training sessions. One-to-one training sessions, you can send an email, and according to the availability of slots, we can discuss. And yes, it gets allotted that way. Happy learning.